Hi, I'm Steve Smith, and since I think I'm going to put this on both integrative preparedness and American reversion, welcome to both integrative preparedness and American reversion. When I got up this morning, getting ready for the day that would be the inauguration of the 46th president, I was thinking about what videos I wanted to make for each of the channels. At first, I was thinking about making a separate one for each. As the day progressed and as I got to thinking about things, I thought, well, pretty much the same one would serve for both. So that's what this is going to be. This will be the same video on both channels. For those of you who are not on American Reversion, but do care about the political aspects and trying to take our country back to where they it should be, as we feel it should be. I do encourage you go over to American Reversion. I don't know if I'll put the link down here or not, but just put up in the search bar of YouTube American Reversion and join us over there and participate. I see that one growing quite quickly in the new day. For those of you who may be on American Reversion but not over at Integrative Preparedness, I also suggest that you go over there because we talk more about preparedness, and the days ahead call for greater preparedness, no matter what your situation is. So this is going to be on both. When I came down, I'm going to be talking today about the way forward, the road ahead. I don't know what I'll call it. Probably be one of those. Those kind of come to mind. I had a lot of people. We had a lot of information coming up about possibilities that could happen on the days preceding the inauguration or even on the inauguration day. I said in my video yesterday I didn't believe any of those, and I would be happy to say that I was wrong if I was wrong, but I wasn't wrong, so I'm right. I won't rub that in, but I do want to talk about that. Started the day down here having coffee with Kelly. It's one of my favorite ways to start the day. We talk about what's coming up in the news and kind of how we were thinking about things. And we both got quite a few um, oh um, chat threads about from people from different groups about what they were thinking about today. And I had a couple of comments on, it was over on the Patreon channel. And if you're not on Patreon, please come over there at Patreon for Integrative Preparedness. We cover things over there that we don't care to cover here. But it was on there that I saw a couple of comments from people saying that they got up today kind of sad, kind of depressed, didn't know what lies ahead of us. And, I understand that. But this is not a time to be depressed. And when Kelly asked me how I felt, because we were talking about some comments that were made on a thread, people said they were stunned, they were anxious, they were this, they were that, whatever. Kelly asked me how I felt. I said, well, I no way particularly. I kind of, it helps. These things tend to focus us on what we might want to be making sure that we're doing in the future. But that's about it. If anything, I feel energized, certainly not depressed, certainly not anxious. Life is like that. It has its ups and downs, like I said yesterday. But if we are prepared and if we are in control of ourselves emotionally and have a pretty good handle on what how we think things are and what maybe we should do about it, we don't bob around like a little bobber in a stormy sea. We kind of stay focused and stay on target, stay on message, and see our way forward. Last night, so that's what I want to talk about a little bit here. Um, I know some of you are right on board with me on that. I'm sure that a lot of people are a little bit upset, and I want to let's bring that into kind of what we need to be doing instead of just being upset. Last night we watched a movie that I've been wanting to watch for a long time. I bought it some time ago and we just hadn't gotten around to see it. But last night seemed like the perfect opportunity to do this. Kelly, the kids, and a friend and I watched this, and it is called Agenda: The Grinding Down, or Grinding America Down. I suggest everybody watch this. Everybody buy this and watch it. I think I got it on Amazon. Oh yeah, I know, the horrible, terrible Amazon. Well, try to get this someplace else, okay? Some of the stuff you're going to get. Don't cut off your nose to spite your face kind of thing. This details, and it is an exceptional documentary. I'm going to keep this up here while I talk about it for just a minute. So if anybody didn't see it, they're seeing Agenda: Grinding America Down. It is a documentary on the communist infiltration and takeover of our country through schools, through government, through media, through everything. This is one of the best documentaries I have ever seen on it. It was put together by a former congressman. His name escapes me right now. He wasn't anybody I was familiar with, so I don't know it, but it is so well put together. Everybody needs to watch this. I'm going to watch it again and probably a couple of more times because, as one of the people in this say, every person who cares about our country and wants to arm themselves to be able to come back and involve themselves in the back and forth of taking this country back needs to be thoroughly ingrained in the information in this. Now, I know quite a bit about this stuff, but I learned a lot in this, and we're going to have our kids watch it too. This brings me to where I would suggest everybody be focused. I'll mention for just a moment about those people who were putting all their hopes in Q and QAnon. I'm not even sure if that's the same thing. Just sure, and expending all of their hopes and energy in somehow some secret plan that was going to come about at the last minute and make everything right. Okay. And Kelly kind of looked at me and she said, because I made a couple of jokes about it this morning, she says, you shouldn't make fun of those people. And I said, I don't mean to necessarily make fun of them, but it does kind of irritate me. And here's the problem, is that so many of those people are well-meaning and agree with me politically, okay? But they were so wrapped up in all this stuff, the certainty that there was a secret plan and everything. And I mean, whoever came up with this stuff was brilliant. I wished I was that good a writer. I couldn't write stuff that good because everything that I read, you could make it seem like it was true. You really could. These people could come up with stuff that I would never think of. Okay. And if you wanted to be convinced by it, I'm sure it would be easy to be convinced by it. And the problem is that's what was happening. This became such a one big, huge echo chamber of people reading the same things, sending the same things to other people who've already felt the same way they did. And then back and forth. And so these people had created an internal loop that it was, like a whirlpool of bringing stuff in, but just bringing it within themselves. They isolated themselves so much in this idea that they weren't able to be effective in communicating it outside of their circle. First off, even though it all seemed, you could make it'd make a great novel. It'd make a great novel for someone who's a better writer than I am, to really put all this together and make it come out true. But the problem is, it just wasn't. And anybody who would allow themselves to take an objective look at it would just shake their head and say, grasping at straws and, hey, mount up on your unicorns and head to town. But these things just don't happen. And if you are consuming yourself with this, you are not addressing the reality of the situation. I told the first person who brought this to me, and um, and introduced me to this, I looked at it. I looked at a couple of things, and I told him, I says, it has all the earmarks of an intelligence operation. Okay. He said, well, what do you mean? And so I laid out some things for him. This has all the earmarks of a disinformation program. Okay. If I wanted to separate the right, okay, if I wanted to make a bunch of them look, and I don't mean this unkindly, okay, because I don't think that people are nuts, but if I wanted to make them appear nuts, I would try to implement a story like this, okay, and then also if I wanted to create a database of those people who were easily influenced and could be made to believe this kind of thing, and who would be able to make them look foolish and thereby taint the larger pool in which they swim. Okay. And then, like I say, create a database so I had all their names, all their information, all their friends, all their contacts, everybody they ever send texts to, all this, and every text they send, and every thumbs up they give. I would have created QAnon, whatever it is. Okay, I don't even know what it is. Okay, that's what I would have done. And I kind of warned a couple of people about this, but they wanted to believe so badly that they just couldn't get out of it. I've said before, one of my favorite movie quotes is one that Strother Martin gave him back in some medical show in the 70s, and that is, how easy it is to be convinced by an argument you support. Okay, well, if you already support an argument, then you are just going to love everybody that comes around and agrees with you. Okay. So instead of mixing it up, instead of interacting with the world around you and hopefully having some impact of the world around you, you have contained yourself within this echo chamber to where everybody feels the same way, to where if anybody doubts it, they're stupid. They're out of, you just wait, it's going to happen. This has caused family arguments. It has caused lost friendships. I mean, come on, really? The absence of critical thinking that can occur when people are so emotionally invested in their own opinion is amazing. Okay, so dealing with that, what really do we need to do? I'm going to go with it. I'm not going to pound on those people anymore. What would have been better, what we really needed, those people, and this is what I was explaining to Kelly. It would have been so much better if those people had really were able to carry on an intelligent conversation, were able to express their viewpoint, were able to spread the conservative message to those around them in a reasonable and intelligent way. If they would educate themselves on the basics, and yet too many can't. Okay, they don't want to put the effort into learning the basics, but they will put unbelievable amount of effort into memorizing every strange thing that goes into some crazy cockamamie conspiracy theory. Okay, that makes everybody look nuts. Okay, now what is the way forward then? And I'll also address something here too. I'll stick that in just a second. The way forward is for everyone who believes the way we do, and this has to do with preparedness, because there is no more important element of preparedness than being able to live in a country that you don't have to be afraid of. Okay, if you can affect the greater political landscape, you have done a lot towards your own preparedness, more than just socking away a bunch of rice and beans and bullets and stuff like that. If you want to separate yourself from the greater society, okay, I'm not telling you not to do it. I would never tell anybody what to do or not to do. That's your way, that's your way. But if you're going to expect to have any impact on the world around you, You need to be knowledgeable of the topics, of the subjects that people care about. You need to be able to express yourself in an intelligent way, in a calm way, in a reasonable way, and educate other people around you. I've done it. I know it works. I'll tell you what doesn't work is to be so frantic and so agitated and say that you're ready to go. I'm ready to go to war now, or I'm ready to do this, or I'm ready to. That just pushes people away. Now, what I'm trying to do here is to get more people acting in a positive way on our side. I'm not trying to slam the people who felt, obviously so committed toward one thing that they kind of, maybe went too far. What I'm saying is we need those intelligent people. If you're one of those people, we need you. Back it up just a little bit. Come back and teach yourself. Learn. What are the basics? How was our country established? What's it supposed to run like? Yeah, politics has been a dirty business all ever since it started. That's the way it is. Are you not willing? Are you willing to pick up a gun and go to war? But you're not willing to spend a little bit of time educating yourself and learning, first off, the basics of how the country works, okay? And how this all came about. Back to this. Spend some time knowing so you can speak intelligently about these things, and then make the effort. You say that you're ready to go out there and this is the hill you're ready to die on, or you're going to die on your front porch if they come for whatever, but you're not willing to put in the effort to talk to people. You see, that doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't believe it. I don't believe that anybody who won't talk is all of a sudden ready to fight. Now, there's probably some like there, but I'll tell you what, that in the long run, that is not effective. That is not effective, and it's not what we need. We need more people educating themselves and being willing to go out there in the world around them and interact with people. Now, you can say, well, it's going to be a horrible 4 years. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll double that down and tell you, it's not going to be a horrible 4 years. It's going to be a horrible 8 years. Okay. But you know what? The other side, watch this. They have always been in it for the long haul. The problem with conservatives is they are rarely in it for the long haul. Because too many conservatives, that's because we're doing things. We're working. We don't want to concentrate on this stuff all the time. It just wears you down. Okay. We're not trying to change anything. These people are. We make our own living. We're out there working. We're out there either doing our jobs or running our businesses or whatever, while the other side, they have filled up the college campuses. They have filled up the government positions. They have filled up Congress and so many of the state houses and our so-called representative government. That's where, and the media, that's where we find these people. So I understand that it's harder for us on our end to do it because we're busy with our lives. These people are busy trying to change the world. Our world, they're trying to change it. They are aiming for communism. And anybody who doesn't believe that needs to watch this, learn it so that you can talk about it. There are many people out there that don't understand this, that don't know about this, that can be reached. And I hear all the people saying, you can't reach them. They're just beyond. Well, I told you a story in yesterday's about a young girl who just happened as a result of listening to me, went down and started the largest student Republican club in the Midwest. And she started out a liberal. And probably most of you have an instance where you've been able to educate someone and explain to them the realities. People who had just heard the pablum shoved out by the media and their liberal friends and their college professors, and you've been able to kind of show them the right way. All we have to do is do that on a larger scale and be ready to be in the long fight. Okay. I know there were a couple other things that I wanted to say here. I'm not sure. I think we're running a little bit long, but maybe I'll save that for another time. But here's the thing. We are in the world that we are in. right now. Now, already I'm seeing things come across, these people saying, there's still a secret coming. Still a secret coming. Well, for those of you who want to get into secrets, do you see the secret in my shirt? Okay, do you see this? My shirt is mostly blue, right? Dark blue, medium blue, light blue. Blue is the color of Democrats, right? However, look closely. You'll see that there are red stripes running through it, right? That means that those secret red stripes are still in the fabric of this shirt, ready to come forward and take over at a moment's. No, are you nuts? That's ridiculous. Okay, there is no secret in my shirt. I'm wearing it because I like the shirt. Okay, there are no secret things happening out there. Changes in society come as a result of long, hard work, which is why so few people are willing to do it. It's a lot more fun, a lot sexier to talk about the latest conspiracy theory because we all love conspiracies, right? And heck, half of them are right. But just because they're true doesn't mean that they're going to go away if we complain enough about them, okay? Nobody's coming forward and taking them to court. There is no magic potion that's going to come out and make all this right. It's going to be, if it happens, the result of consistent work on the part of more of us being ready and able, willing to engage intelligently with the world around us and be able to influence those who can be influenced. That's the way the other side did it. Why can't we? Okay. I'm going to leave it at that and wish you all a good day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. Now, if we want a good tomorrow, we're going to have to get at it. And those preparations for a good tomorrow means educating more people, getting more people to understand the truth of the foundation of America and how things ought to be. We were a country founded on a religion of God and Jesus Christ. Okay. And we have gone so far away from that. That's one of the reasons that we're going down the tubes like we are. So get involved in that if you want to get involved in something. Get off these conspiracy things and start doing the grunt work that it takes, because that's what will get it back to where we need to be if we're able to. So y'all have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.